Hello and welcome to a shallow dive show. Today we'll be taking a shallow dive into the Montgomery bus boycotts. Now this is a commonly talked about topic in schools, but they usually don't talk about this topic in its entirety. So let's get into it and learn some new things, shall we? The Jim Crow laws were not only being enforced during, but even before, the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s. They were to separate white people from people of color, or what were called colored people. It separated restaurants, water fountains, schools, but today we'll be talking about buses, where people of color had to sit in the back and white people got to sit in the front. Most people in the United States have heard some sort of version of Rosa Parks and the bus boycott. How most people are taught it is that Rosa Parks was told to go to the back of the bus. She said no, so she was arrested and spent 2 nights in jail on a $14 bail. And then people didn't go on the bus for a while, and then the bus became desegregated. But that's not entirely how it went. Nobody is taught about Claudette Colvin, or hardly anybody anyways. Claudette Colvin was 15 in 1955, and she did the same thing that Rosa Parks did. But why are we not taught about her in our schools, and why does nobody know about her? Before we get to why, we need to know what she did. So, on March 2nd, 1955, more than 6 months before Rosa Parks, Claudette Colvin sat at the front of the bus, and when she was told to move, she said no. And then she was taken to jail because she did so. That story probably sounds a little bit familiar. And that's because it is. It's almost the identical. So, why don't we learn about her? Because the civil rights movement at the time decided that people wouldn't listen to her. Why did they decide that people wouldn't listen to her? Well, because of things she couldn't really control. She was 15, she was pregnant, and she was darker skinned. And at the time, and still even today, people wouldn't listen to a 15-year-old pregnant person who was darker skinned. So, the civil rights movement said they needed to find somebody else to do the same thing. Rosa Parks, inspired by Claudette Colvin, decided to do the same thing that she did. And that's where the story that you were told starts. She was on the front of the bus, she was told to get off, she said no, she went to jail on a $14 bond. That's where the story that you were told starts. And that is all because of Claudette Colvin and Rosa Parks. Now, if they weren't using the bus, how did they get to work? Well, they walked. In Alabama summer weather and humidity, they walked, men, women, and children, 10, 15, 30 miles sometimes, just to fight for a cause that they believed it would work. Why did they think it would work? Because boycotting is a very effective way of protesting, especially for a business. Because if the business doesn't have any money, they don't have a business. So they are able to change the landscape and change the laws, which is very important to enacting change. Now, this is the cliffhanger. This is where you guys have to do your own research. And what's your own research? Well, my question to you is, has history repeated itself, or has it rhymed? And during the 1950s civil rights movement, did they repeat history? Was history rhyming then? Now, I have put resources down below that you can use. You can use your own resources, and I really want to hear your answers, because I think this is an interesting question, and I don't really know the answer to it yet. Now, I have also put resources about the Black Lives Matter movement below, and what you guys can do. So, I have put a website which I think is the most helpful called PD Resources. It has calls and emails that you can make. It has places where you can donate. It also has places where you can educate yourself and educate others, and information about protests. And donations would go to either bail funds, memorial funds, or to law centers. So it's a really good resource, and I recommend you check it out. Hi everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it if you liked it, and maybe subscribe so you can see my next video. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay informed.